On this day in 2021, the vaccine mandate kicks in and affects thousands of employees who have those public-facing jobs through the provincial government. Ted Fransen is joining us now. He is superintendent of the Pembina Trails School Division. Good afternoon, Ted. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me. It's good to be here.
How many people does this impact within Pembina Trails?
Well, technically it impacts us all. There are 1,900 of us, and we're all under the same mandate, and about 40 have decided not to become vaccinated. So if your question is how many are going to be tested, it's about 40.
How will that look for your division?
Well, we're 98% vaccinated, so it will impact very, very few people. And those who have decided not to get vaccinated will have to, of course, do the home test twice a week and attest to the fact that they've done it. And then they will head to a private vendor that we have contracted with for a supervised test experience.
Who pays for that?
Well, we will, but using provincial COVID funding. So right now there's no cost to the employee, and there's an immediate direct cost to the division, but it's recoverable from the province.
How are parents feeling about all this? Because, we get all sorts of reaction to stories. You're on the front lines in so many ways when it comes to education. What sort of feedback are you getting from parents on all this?
Well, as you can probably imagine, we have a full spectrum of responses from parents. I think that the vast majority of our parents, because they are also vaccinated, have greatly appreciated the fact that their teachers and their EAs and their school secretaries and caretakers and bus drivers have a 98% percentage of being vaccinated. So there's a collective sigh of relief and appreciation for the. I want to be careful how I word this, but we don't get vaccinated only for ourselves. We get vaccinated for those around us, and so I have a certain sense of pride that so many of our people have done that, and parents have expressed appreciation to that effect as well.
It's certainly a vastly different situation than the Winnipeg School Division, which has to take over some gyms, 2 high school gyms, in order to test the staff that have chosen not to get vaccinated or disclose within their division. But Ted, have you been getting any phone calls from parents saying, listen, I want to know if my child's teacher or EA or janitor has been vaccinated?
We've had some isolated cases of that early on. I think once it became reasonably well known through the grapevine, we haven't made a big deal of it, but through the grapevine that the vast majority were, and parents were also informed that we would not share private health information about any employee. People have understood that and have settled back and have trusted us for the most part.
I do think, and my compliments to the staff at Pembina Trails, because 98% on a test is outstanding.
Yes.
And when you look at 98%, that is, that really is the shining example. And of those 40, who knows? They might be opposed to vaccine, may have some healthcare concerns, etc. But if you can get 98% performance on anything, that's pretty darn good, Ted.
It is. We met with all of our union local leaders back in August and early September to talk about their view of this and how important this was to us, and we know that it was to them as well. So those conversations, I think, helped, and we have been having a fairly positive, proactive approach to being vaccinated. And we also took the next step, and we said to all of our casual people who, by tradition and contract, must renew their status with us every fall as a casual employee. All of them were told that they could only sign up in this year if they were actually double vaxxed, and they needed to provide evidence of that. So none of our casual people in our schools are unvaccinated. They are all vaccinated. So we don't have those difficult conversations with a casual person to tell them that they have to get vaccinated because it was a condition of employment.
Ted Fransen, as always, we appreciate you popping on with us.
You're very welcome. All the best.
Ted Fransen is superintendent of Pembina Trails School Division.